there's one other thing we were wanting to talk about is the this week we saw officially some pushback from Tesla. Now we're talking about the CyberTruck resales.
Yeah.
Which is it's cool to see because for the last few weeks now, I forget what was it. I think it was 2 weeks ago that we saw one of the first ones go up for sale at auction, sold for $244,000 at an auction somewhere in Florida, and that seemed to like open Pandora's box of like all the resales. So now it's like everyone's trying to get in the game, and we've seen anywhere from like 250 to 275 all the way down to like I saw 175 and then 195 all over the place. But it seems like someone had posted their story recently of how he put his truck up for sale intending to sell it, but he also had multiple reservations ready to go as well that he hadn't gone through with, and then Tesla got aware of that and canceled all of his reservations and banned him from buying any more Teslas. And they even went as far as to say that even if he would try to pre-order another Tesla upcoming, they would not refund his pre-order, but automatically cancel it without a refund. Which I think is very interesting to see. And then obviously that sends a message to him if he does find a buyer that they're obviously going to come after him. They already know who he is and what they're trying to do. So I thought it was very interesting that we finally got a response after a couple weeks.
So what about people? So then my question would then be, okay, so what about people who just happen to own the one truck, or aren't trying to do like a pattern of flipping, or even if that guy was just planning on just selling the one because people are paying $190,000. Let me try my hand at it. Now he's got all of them canceled. So I mean, was this them firing their warning shot? Is this a sign of something else, or was this a hey man, you were like anybody else looking at the situation? I was like, man, you sound like you were trying to abuse whatever system they've got going on. So I can't be too heartbroken that they are on the do not fly list, so to speak.
Exactly. Yeah, we get the forum post up here.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it sets a precedent, but it also shows that Tesla's still being serious about this. I'm surprised that it came this late. Honestly, I thought as soon as we heard the news of the auction, we would get a response from Tesla, or at least a public response. But yeah, it just kind of shows that they are taking this seriously. But it's it's still funny through all the forums that I've been seeing that people just kind of flippantly just like, yeah, I'll just sell it. I'm like, okay, but how? Like, you think you're just gonna, I'll just sell this one and then I'll get another one. Like, you're not going to be able to sell it unless you're selling it back to Tesla, as far as I know.
But I thought that was part of the fact that that first auction, they clarified that they had gotten released from Tesla to be allowed to sell it because they had notified Tesla of just, hey, we want to sell this. We love the truck. We just want to sell it. And, maybe they did something to it or did some video testing and did something where Tesla's like, all right, you know what? We're not going to do the cents on the mile, buy it back from you or whatever. They were probably just like, all right, go ahead, give it a try selling it. And then when somebody spends $240,000, they're like, oh, really? Oh, okay.
Well, did the rest of the story go that whoever bought it also then re-put it up for sale again? They were trying to flip it even further for like $290 or something?
It was a Porsche dealership, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a Porsche dealership.
Yeah. So they bought it for $245, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And they they listed it on their dealership website for, I think, $289, so $290.
Yeah. Which
I don't know.
That seems crazy to me. The only justified purchase that makes sense is actually Ford that bought it for $250. Who knows who the buyer was or who the seller was, but still, that seems like a legitimate sale that Tesla would be like, okay, yeah, you can do that because Ford's obviously going to tear it apart and do their whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was the initial speculation of Porsche buying it, right? That I think they first said Porsche, but it was just a dealership. And so I think the speculation was, hey, is Porsche buying it to tear it apart? And then 2 days later, it's up on a dealership in Florida's website.